So how are you today? How are you today? What have you guys been up to?
I'm doing pretty good. You mean the band?
Well, yeah, you, the band. What's going on? Yeah, how you
Oh
been?
well, me, I don't know, man. It's my first day off, so I kind of overslept.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
no.
but then the rest of the band, they're just I know that today everyone's been pretty busy, so which
Yeah.
is why it's kind of hard to like organize something today. We're supposed to meet up tomorrow, though.
Okay.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll say like a huge thank you for taking the time to have a chat.
No problem, my friend.
Yeah, because what is it? I did I did the reaction to your 400 vocalist track, and I just remember the build up to it all. Because well, like to start back, like I first got introduced to you by one of my live streams where someone recommended the track. I think it was Identity Crisis, and not gonna lie, I was terrified throughout that whole listening experience. I think it's mainly because of like Guillem's like vocal stylings, like that uber
Yeah,
whistly. I don't know how to call it really, but just the whole package was just absolutely disgusting. And then I got
yeah.
told about the 400.
It's a weird style of vocals, eh? Like the whistles and stuff. Cause like, um, before Guillaume, we've never really heard of anything like that. I mean, some people have been like comparing him to like Deer and Gray and
Mm-hmm.
Cradle of Filth. But like when you actually listen to it, you realize it's a totally different technique.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
Guillaume like kind of figured it out on by mistake. So he was just trying to scream really high.
yeah. And it just accidentally happened. No, but it's
Yeah,
it's
like
a
we were in the
terrifying
studio
thing.
recording our first track. Like, oh yeah, like we were doing our first track ever, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, Guillaume, try to go higher. And he's like, dude, I'm trying. And I'm like, bro, you remember like you sent me because he sent me like a video of him like doing he was doing a cover of a Biotic, if you know
Yeah.
them, like the
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
their first album. And and then I'm like, like you did that on camera, like you can do it again. And then he's like, all right, bro, I'm gonna push as hard as I can. And then this freaking sounds comes out, and I'm like, what was that?
Nice.
And he's like, I don't know, man.
Just
Do you
hit
want me to
record.
do it again? I'm like, yeah.
Hit record on that.
Exactly. And then he just got so consistent with it.
Yeah.
Right, like it's incredible. Even people that we know now, like nowadays, you see a couple people. There's my
Mm-hmm.
buddy Chris Gilbert.
Yeah.
Met him on TikTok actually, and he does vocals as well. He's on the 400 track as well. He's the only one doing whistles other than Fred and Guillaume.
Yeah.
And even when you hear it, you can tell like it takes so much out of them
Yeah.
to do it, right? And like to be able
It,
to do the
it's
transition
it
from a
sounds
high
very
scream to that, it's
demanding as a
impossible. But
vocal
like Guillaume
style.
does that. It's insane, and I don't know. Even to this day, even though like the amount of time I spend with Guillaume,
Mm-hmm.
because even when he wasn't in the band anymore, he was still a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was so it's incredible how consistent he is with that. Like to this
That's
day, I don't
impressive.
know. Like he could like just he could just drop here, and I'd be like, "Hey, Guillaume, do a whistle," and go like, and
Yeah.
then,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Go
it's
full
just like
mouse
so
mode.
natural for him. Oh
Yeah, for
yeah, like
sure.
it's insane. Like.
So definitely want to talk about the 400 track for sure. But before that, I was wondering, do you want to give a brief origin story of the band?
Oh man, are you ready for that one?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I've got all night. Let's go.
So this one's pretty funny, and I told this story so many times because like we come like the original members, right? It was
Yeah, yeah.
me, Jesse, and Rock. And
Okay.
now from the original members, I'm the only one left, sadly,
Oh.
for good reasons though. But
Okay.
like we were just sitting at home, man, and Jesse was like, "Oh, like I heard this new type of music, like he's like, I think they call it like beat down deathcore, and then
Mm.
now we call it down tempo, right? Because it's not really related to actual beat down.
Yeah, yeah.
And but back then they used to call it like that, and he was, and then he showed me, I think it was Traders or Immoralist or something, and I
Mm.
was like, wow, that's stupid. It's like.
Yeah.
Who would want to play that? Like that's slow, that's boring.
Oh.
And then he left, and I started listening to it, you know,
Oh,
because I
it's one of
still
those
got
things where it's
very,
like I need to listen to it to confirm I don't like it.
yeah, exactly. And then I eventually started liking it a lot, and I was like, I texted him, and I'm like, bro, we can do that as well.
That's how hard it could
And
be.
then and yeah, and you know, like back then there wasn't many bands that were doing it. There was like what Traders, Immortalist, Last 10 Seconds of Life a little bit,
Yeah,
like and there was Black Tongue, of course,
of course.
but there weren't that many bands. And then we decided to try it. And at first we were supposed to be called Anal Carnage because it was supposed to be a joke band, you know.
Fucking hell. I
And
mean,
because like we
in the
never thought
genre,
we'd
yeah.
play outside of our city.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like we never thought we'd get out of our city. You know, like we were used to being in like small local bands,
yeah,
and then on you know we released our first track, Death Sentence,
yeah.
and on the first month, guess who texts us?
Oh God, who is it?
Tyler of Traders,
The Moose himself.
and he's like, bro, he's like, I want to help you guys,
You need my help.
and I'm like, oh God. And he
Damn.
showed us, you know, like how to do things and stuff. And then, you know, things got complicated with time. You know, Guillaume was having like trouble, like, you know, with personal life and professional
Yeah.
life because it took so much steam so quickly. I mean, I think we released that sentence something like in May, and
Yeah.
in July we were supposed to be on tour. It's something like that. Like it was so quick. Like I don't think anyone was actually ready for that.
Right.
And so yeah, so that's why Guillaume left, and then we picked up Matt. I don't know if you heard our EP, The Plague King,
Yeah, I've heard a couple of tracks
but
off it.
yeah, on The Plague King, it's Matthew Krawchuk who's singing. He's like the ex-singer of Suffocate, and
Nice. Yeah. Oh, is
yeah, so he toured
same
with
one
us
who's-
to replace Guillaume at first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then
Yes,
now.
and then slowly he kind of joined full time,
Nice.
and then he left because once again, personal life.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then we picked up Fred, and then Fred recently left, and now Guillaume is back full time. So it's
Wait.
very complicated. It
Wait, so
really
Guillaume's
is.
back now, or wait? Okay. So who's the vocalist now?
The vocalist now is Guillaume.
Oh, he's
like
Guillaume.
our first
Okay.
vocalist.
Oh, okay.
And he's
okay.
back full time.
It's definitely like a tag team situation. Just keeps tagging him each other back in.
Oh man, I hope not. Honestly, I hope we're done switching. Now that's another thing where it's like a lot of fans, you know, every time we switch, they're kind of mad at us, right? But it's like it's not like we choose to, right? It's just sometimes life is like that, right?
Well, yeah,
and
of
it's like
course.
if we want to keep everybody happy, that'd be impossible. So what we prefer doing is keep everybody in the band happy, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because at the end of the day, like you know, like we have to play music together,
yeah, of course.
right? So
Yeah. It's like when you're stuck in a tour bus together for months on end. You know, you're in tight packed situations. You got to get along somehow.
oh yeah, and like I'm not gonna say anything, but I can recall some tours where like it was very heated in the van for sure.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
So like sometimes it's better to just like you know let go and start
Yeah.
over with someone else, right?
Yeah, of course.
And by the way, I'm not saying I'm easy to live with because I'm not.
Of course. Okay, I want to get into the meat of this. 400 vocalists. First of all, whose idea was this? What was the conception behind this idea?
That was Fred, 100%. Like that was Fred, 100%. Like the guy, the guy, like he woke up one day and he was like, "I want to do like the most amount of vocalists on a track in the deathcore scene."
Yeah.
Then he texted me about this, and I was like, "Yeah, man, like whatever you want to do, you know, do it. Sounds
Yeah.
cool." And then he's like, and then he was like, you know what? Why don't we just beat the record? And then it was like the old record is 400, 365 I think it was.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so we could do 400, and I'm like, well, you know, the thing is I'm down with the idea, but of course we won't be able to pay for someone to produce that, right?
Yeah.
That would have been so expensive, like
Yeah, of course.
insanely expensive. So that's why he offered to actually mix it and master it and all that stuff himself, or else that would have been a project that would not have been possible. Right?
That's very impressive. Like, because the
like,
mix and master is pretty solid. Because I think
Yeah, it's decent for sure. Like, if all things considered, right?
yeah, of course. Like I remember I think I said on the reaction was I felt I was shocked and also amazed at the fact that you were able to have all the vocalists sort of being coherent with one another, where like constantly the transition from one after the other, it didn't feel it had a smooth transition compared to like what it could have been.
Yeah, it didn't feel rushed or anything. Like,
Yeah, especially with sections where like you have vocalists doing a word or two words and then trying to
yeah,
transition
well,
that
I would say like how can I say that? Like the key to that was actually to make everything very square,
I just
right? So like
crushed it all.
it, yeah, it sounds weird, but like what I mean is that the key is actually in the music and
Okay.
not like in the actual mixing when you think about it. Because if we were to actually start like putting like weird time signatures like 1716 or something like that, then it
Yeah.
would have been really hard to make everyone like feel natural, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yeah, of
now because
course.
it's in 4/4, it's very simple, barely any fills on the drums, you know, it sounds very square. So it's
Oh yeah,
easy
I
to
get what you
just slap
mean.
vocals on it. You see what I mean?
It's
So it's
almost
like
like a
that's why a lot of
template.
people were like, "Oh, the instrumental." Yeah. And everyone was like, "Oh, the instrumentals are very like meh." And it's like, "Yeah, well, I mean, we couldn't write the best song we could, right? Or
Could
else
you
it would have
imagine?
sounded weird with random people."
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, imagine
Could
if we
you
took the time, right?
you took the time, you're like, okay, this one bar, 15 and a half minutes in, we got to do something different here. But no, it's impressive. And so in that sense, like what was the pre-production then like? Like how was like planning all this stuff out? Because I assume this was all done like during lockdown, so there was the time.
Well, sadly for me, I never stopped working with lockdown.
Oh,
So
really?
like I never got that luck. Yeah, I've been working. I mean, the first 3 months of Canadian lockdown was actually fully locked down, right?
Yeah,
And so everyone was not working. But then after that, I mean, I never stopped. Like my job was considered. It's weird. It wasn't considered essential, so I wasn't allowed to get the vaccine early.
yeah.
But we were considered essential enough to stay open.
Oh, well, that's a. I don't know if that's a. Is that a
Yeah, that was kind
compliment?
of weird. Yeah, I don't know. Like it was so weird because like I'm a driving teacher, right? So like I sit a foot away from people. So I was like, it's so weird that I don't have access to the vaccine. But you know,
Well, yeah, of course, of
yeah,
course.
it's like whatever works, eh? But like I would say like yeah, the way it was planned out was actually very simple. You know, I just told Fred, I'm like, you know, make a Facebook group. So that way you'll be able to like actually organize who's on the track and communicate with everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, that's true." And then everything with the organization. Well, I mean, the longest part for Fred, and I mean, praise Fred on this one. The
Yeah.
lyrics, man, like
Oh God, those lyrics.
God, yeah, yeah, like that's a long job, man.
That's a lot
That's
of
a lot
lyrics.
of lyrics.
I mean, that's like
Oh yeah, like that's the thing where it's like for us today it would be very hard to do because none of us are actually native English speakers
yeah,
except for Fred.
yeah, of
So
course.
it's like now that he's gone, we're all French.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're from Quebec. Yeah, that area. Yeah.
Yeah. We're all Quebecers, so like we all speak French, 100%. I would say I'm probably the best with English in the band, but
Yeah, because
still.
I couldn't tell. Like you got perfect English.
Well, I mean, you know, I work like half my family's English, and also
Ah,
I
okay, of
work
course.
with a you know, at my job I work with a clientele that's like 50/50.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of have to speak both, I guess.
Yeah, of course, of course. What
But yeah,
about?
sometimes my French gets out. You'll see.
Oh, no worries, no worries. My girlfriend is half French as well, so don't worry. So I guess your job was the instrumental side, predominantly for it.
Yeah, to some extent. The thing is, I would say 400 was a like very Fred project, right?
Yeah.
And Fred is very big on like everything that's like social media, memes, you know, like weird projects. And I mean,
Yeah.
you got to give him credit for that for sure. Like when it came to 400, well, he told me, you know, like, oh, you have to write the instrumental. It's 37 minutes. And so I had a bunch like of riffs in my head.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for a while, I was struggling a lot with writing breakdowns. And I think it's
Yeah.
because I've been doing it for a long time, right? And it's like the inspiration's just not there anymore. And so like what I did is I mostly wrote like you know, like the faster riffs, right? So like even like
Yeah,
the intro, like the dang and dang and dang and dang and
yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
stuff
Of
like that.
course,
That was
of
mostly
course.
me, and then everything that was slower was mostly Fred. Because like for me, it became really hard to write stuff like that.
Yeah,
Now with I don't know why, but like I've been able to write that a little more. So now we got another EP on the way.
nice, nice.
But yeah, I would say, and it went pretty well. We wrote, I'd say the first, I think 16 minutes in a day, and like wrote it and recorded
Wow.
on the same day. So went pretty well. Yeah.
Curious about the recording process. So, was the entire recording of it done like we're gonna say, uh, like live? How do I explain this? It's like because I had some suspicion that some sections were just looped or like just copied and pasted, or was it all done like individually? I guess that's kind of how to say it.
Oh, yeah. Of course, some parts are like copy pasted for sure. The thing is, we wrote like the first 16 minutes, and then you know the idea was to get like a frame kind of right,
Yeah.
and then we would just copy paste the parts that we wanted repeated. Now the reason why some parts actually repeat is because when you write such a long song, you kind of need some repetition to remind you that it's the same song.
Oh
You
yeah.
see
Of
what I
course. Of
mean?
course. Of course.
Because it's like you know, like if you just keep going with different riffs, it'll just sound like we like slap six
Yeah.
songs together,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. It's
But then by copy pasting like the beginning, you know, it always comes back. So
yeah.
then
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels like it's always the same song you're listening to. So yeah, of course, some parts were copy pasted, like to make it easier on us as well, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Of course. Of course.
And anyone that knows me knows I'm lazy. So
Oh yeah. Look, copy paste is like the greatest invention of the modern era.
Control C, Control V, man.
It
My
saves
best
lives. It
friend.
saves lives.
Yeah, I was doing a live recently and I was
Yeah.
writing a song on stream and like some people were like, "Do you copy paste that much?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, you know, like I'm a little lazy, you know."
Of course. Of course. Oh yeah. So you stream. Where do you stream?
Oh, I stream directly in the 400 vocalist group on Facebook. Actually, if you want to join, you can. Like it's open now. We made a new one for people who actually want to interact with us, right? And it's like right now the project is we're actually doing a song, writing a song together, and I'm gonna
Nice.
try to write the instrumental with people and the lyrics. So it's gonna be very cool in a way, and also like we'll start having a lot of like community projects like that, and also I tend to give some VIP stuff like
Ooh.
they already know they only really know what the next album artwork looks like.
Oh
So
really? Nice. What is your plan?
yeah.
When is your sort of like release schedule for it? Or is it just sort of like we're still working on it?
Well, the plan, yeah, it's the thing is it's really hard with COVID once again, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's COVID and money, I'd say, are the
Yeah.
biggest issues. Even though a lot of people were like, "Oh, with 400, you guys probably made bank and blah blah," and it's like, you know, no one should assume the amount of money bands make. First of all, music
No.
doesn't pay that well,
Oh God,
for
no.
those who don't know.
I
But like, you know, like with the next stuff, it's like we have a plan. We know we're gonna have a song before the end of summer.
dope, dope.
Yeah, so like it's gonna be a song with a music video before the end of summer.
Oh, definitely. I'll
And
do a
then
video
my
for that.
plan is to have and then my plan is to have the album come out in the last like quarter of 2021 if possible.
Nice. No, like yeah, just going back to is like it's like music in general. Like it's almost insulting how little you can get paid for doing music. It's like definitely you need to have that love and
Oh yeah,
passion
like
for it.
like recently I had a fan like text me and it was like, "Oh, why can't you guys do something?" Like there was something he wanted us to do with 400 and he's like, "You guys probably made a couple thousand easily." And then he made calculations in his head about things
Oh, just in his
costs and
head.
stuff and I'm
Okay.
like, "Yeah," and it's like, "Bro, you have to take into account the label, you have to take into account the printing, the you know, like
Every
there's a lot that goes in there. In the end we don't get much, and now with Fred that leaves, you know, he gets a cut, of course, because he did most of the project,
Yeah.
So like these things, this money that goes away, man,
And
we
then
end up with barely anything.
and then every
So
streaming service taking their cut as well.
exactly. So like a lot of the money is just gone, right?
Mm.
And that's okay. Like we don't really mind. It's just it takes a little longer to do things, right?
Yeah.
So but you can make it work.
So curious, like besides music, like what other sort of stuff do you like to do, or is like you just very music focused?
Oh man.
Yeah, you said something about
Yeah,
Pokemon
I am
cards.
very music focused, and it's like whatever I do, I always have my guitars right beside me, and they're
And
always
dope,
chilling.
dope.
And but other than that, man, yeah, I play the Pokemon trading card game,
Nice, nice.
always on hand. And I play right now. I've been grinding the Escape from Tarkov, like new wipe. So yeah, I've been playing a little too much.
Nice, nice.
It's actually what I was up to last night, which is why I had trouble waking up.
Oh, no worries, dude. No worries, dude. It's like, no, I get you because I have a weird obsession with Yu-Gi-Oh cards myself.
Oh man, look, I was talking to my friends about starting playing Yu-Gi-Oh actually, and like they were like, I'm more into Magic, and like me, and it's either Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I like them both.
It really depends because it depends what era of Yu-Gi-Oh you want to play because if you're playing bare bones like
Yeah.
the first one, it's quite manageable, and even like I used to play a good bit of it. Then it just gets weird. It gets really weird when you get like 4 or 5 generations in. Like I remember watching like a
Yeah,
video.
but well, it's like I used to play the like the trading card game like many years, right? The Pokemon one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now like with all the different types of Pokemon, it's so confusing. But yeah, keep going, keep going. You used to watch a video?
Yeah, I used to watch videos of like even my friend who's very obsessed with anime and like card games and all that stuff. He tried to explain to me the most current way of playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just clocked out within 5 minutes because it's insane. Like the moves you have to make, especially with like XYZs and pendulum summoning and all that stuff. So yeah, but I don't know if you can get around it. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, with trading card games with time. Like the first things first is that they kind of are all similar if you look like bare bones, like you
Oh
said,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's kind of what they do to get kind of differentiate from each other, right? Is that they try to add stuff, but then it gets so complicated that you kind of alienate like a part of your fan base in a way, which is very interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
like I'm a very big fan of the Pokemon one. I don't know. I mean, I have a Pokemon sleeve, so
Oh
like-
damn. Ooh, that's a good sleeve. Damn.
oh yeah, I'm always pretty big on Pokemon. I was always.
Yeah, yeah. And just on that, it's like
my favorite right in the front,
what do we got there?
Tyranitar.
Oh, Tyranitar's fucking dope.
Tyranitar, my
Keep
friend.
strong.
Like,
Keep
yeah,
strong
it's
some
hard,
Tyranitar.
like,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. So curious, just on like, might as well just go on this tangent. It's like, so are you into anime at all?
Oh man,
Oh, nice.
bro. Like,
Dope.
in the sky, and then yeah, I love Demon Slayer. I have my
Dope.
my
I assume
mouse
you
pad
watched the
as well,
movie.
You know. Oh, dude, I still need to watch it, and like, we're probably gonna watch it this weekend, me and my girlfriend. So,
No,
or
that's
something like that.
Oh, that's cool because like me and my girlfriend have yet to watch it either. But it's like insane. Like it's like
Yeah,
half
like
a billion.
oh, we're not gonna spoil it for each other.
No, exactly. It's like, but it's insane. They made like half
Yeah,
a
like,
billion.
oh, dude.
How? I've never seen like an anime movie do that well.
It's man, like the thing is, I think this new generation of anime, right?
Yeah.
It's like a new thing with like Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, like
Yeah.
it's getting so much like recognition where it's like the new kids, they love it.
Yeah.
And even the old fans, you get a big portion of them that love it. And then you get the people that don't like new stuff, right? Which
Yeah,
is a little
exactly.
weird to me.
There's
Like, like it's good, right? And it's like I think they deserve it. Honestly, it's an art style that was overlooked for a long time. So
Oh yeah. I mean,
like, I'm
there's,
really happy that it's picking up steam,
there's still those groups of people who are just like they only care about Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, even though it's like it's gone. Nobody cares anymore. But
Yeah, I mean, even though I love Naruto.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of Dragon Ball. I can still watch it, but like I'm not gonna, I don't go crazy over it. But like I love Naruto. My girlfriend's she's obsessed with Naruto,
yeah.
and but she still watches new animes as well, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, of course.
you
Um,
know,
my vice is
I guess it
goddamn.
depends on how you do it,
Yeah, exactly. Like my vice is unfortunately One Piece show that'll never end.
man.
I,
Yeah, the thing is, I didn't start watching it yet. Okay, and I was waiting for the show to end to actually start.
oh
Now I'm
no,
looking,
oh
and
no,
apparently they hit
no.
1,000 episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
think. So now I'm thinking about watching it.
it's insane because I think Oda, the mangaka behind it, he was saying how he's about halfway done with the story.
That's insane, man. Like,
it's
how can you do that? Like, it's crazy. Like,
he's just obsessed with like not ending it, but it's like so.
yeah,
Like,
and but at the same time, it's like it's hard to end your baby, right?
oh yeah, of course, of
Where it's
course.
like it's something that he started, like he's created, and like he's so proud of it. And it's like when you finish it, I mean, look at Naruto, right? People are like,
Yeah.
oh, well, but look at Naruto, it's done. It's like, no, now they're doing Boruto. Like it's not even done. It's like
What's
that's
your
the thing.
what's your take on Boruto? Because I know it divided a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, like me, it's it's all right. I think it fills the void, of Naruto being done. But like, my girlfriend loves it though.
Okay.
She loves Boruto, and I know I have another friend that loves it as well. Like me, I'm not so much into it, even though I can still watch it and it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be into Boruto as much as I was into Naruto for sure.
Oh
But
yeah.
like, but I know some people like it, so
Oh
I
yeah.
can't say it's bad. I can't say it's good. I mean, I don't think there's a single anime that I think is actually bad. I
Yeah.
think
It's
they're all different.
exactly, exactly. It's like I watched a good bit of Naruto. I never finished Naruto because I think it ended and I was like, okay, can I put myself through it? But I remember like watching the start of Naruto. I really enjoyed the first arc and all that stuff. And then I watched a couple of episodes of Brute and I was like, what? What happened? Wait, why is Boruto such a dick? Like compared to his dad, he's like this privileged this privileged
Yeah,
kid.
it's weird, eh? Like, cause even his mom, even his mom,
Yeah,
like, Hinata, she's, like she's the big titty got girlfriend, man. Like,
exactly.
and
The
like she's
OG,
nice, like,
one of the OGs.
oh yeah, she's nice as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
yeah.
yeah, so curious. So what anime is you watching at the moment?
What am I watching at the moment?
Yeah.
Actually, nothing at all. All I'm doing is playing Escape from Tarkov.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Uh,
Like, I started watching the X Files again with my girlfriend, so I'm probably gonna finish that. Like,
nice,
I love the X Files.
nice, nice. What is it like? Me and my girlfriend, we just finished this anime called Doctor Stone. I don't know if you know it.
Oh, I think my girlfriend watched it. Like, she's always in the living room, eh? So she's always watching, anime and stuff. I go there and she's watching like weird, obscure anime. So she's probably watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It's a really good show. It's like Minecraft, but yeah, it's actually it is just Minecraft, but anime.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's so weird.
yeah.
What's it
It's
called? Dr. Stone?
Doctor Stone. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. But
I'm gonna
I'd
have to
recommend
watch
that
that.
one.
It
It's a
sounds
really fun
interesting.
one. But yeah, no, it's cool. That's nice having a nice anime tangent. Let's get back to some music. What are you listening to at the moment?
Oh, like, I could probably speak for the old band. What I mean by that is that I know what they listen to as well. Like, it's very interesting because we're a very different bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, go into it.
like,
Yeah.
me personally, I've always been into, like, I wouldn't say like I don't listen to much deathcore at all.
Mm.
Actually, like, I recently started listening to Mental Cruelty
Yeah.
because I watched your video with Luca.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, Luca seems like a funny guy. And then I
He's
started watching the
huge.
videos. I was like, yo, Mental Cruelty is heavy, man. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't know them. Well, I knew them, but like from name, like, because I
Yeah.
don't listen to much deathcore. And they're actually crazy, man. I love their stuff now. But
Yeah.
usually what I listen to is mostly like pop punk, emo punk,
Oh yeah.
and
Fair
like
enough.
rap, like
Yeah.
gangster
Yeah.
rap, and like,
Nice. I'm big
I
on that
mean, anime
MF Doom.
music, video
Anime
game
music
music.
is dope.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got big into MF
And
Doom
then,
after
like,
his death.
if you look at the other members, then it gets different. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
for example, Guillaume, like one of his favorite band of all time is Meshuggah,
Mm-hmm.
and he also loves black metal a lot, and he's into like country and bluegrass.
So, okay. Oh God. Wait, then
And
he would
then if
love Behemoth, like,
yeah,
because
and then if you go into like yeah, he loved Behemoth. Yeah, yeah. So like everything like black and death metal or something like that, he loves that.
yeah,
And then if you look at Sam, like the new guitar player, he's more into like genty stuff, metalcore, a little
yeah,
bit of punk rock and stuff like that. And then Manu is more into Manu is kind of all over the place. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
he
yeah, of
likes
course.
everything. I mean, the guy's a like legally professional musician, so like he likes everything.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, I can't wait for people to actually hear him play drums, right, for the first time.
Oh wow, yeah, 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 of course. No, I always find interesting hearing like what people listen to because a lot of times it does affect the sort of writing process of the music in general.
Well, the thing is, of course, when we started, I was listening to a lot of deathcore
Yeah.
back then. But now, I mean, first of all, we're growing older, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as my airline can tell.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No, but still, like we're
Yeah,
getting older, right?
yeah, of course.
And when I started doing this with Beyond Deviation, I was a little kid, and it was very different. And now it's like I'm older, I'm sober, I don't drink or anything.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's very different, right? Like my the style of music I listen to is very different. But once in a while, you'll see me blasting some Last 10 Seconds of Life, some Slipknot, some
Yeah, of course.
in deathcore. Even sometimes the other day I caught myself at listening to Traders again,
Yeah.
and I always try to keep up too. Where it's like if one of like a band I like releases something, I'll listen to it.
Yeah,
Like
of
I
course,
listened to
of course.
the latest Distant, and like Distant. I mean, I always loved Alan. Alan's such a like his work
Yeah,
ethics are incredible. So
he's
that's why I
insane.
wanted to listen to it, and like he
I
deserves all the hype, man.
I
Like
know,
that guy
like
works for it
I remember
for
I
sure.
interviewed him as well, and like, man, that guy is ridiculous. Like the amount of work they put into their craft, it's unbelievable.
And a lot of people don't realize how long they've been doing this either. Where it's like because before Distant, he used to be in Shrill Whispers, which were kind of the same people as well. And
Right.
yeah, he's the one that designed the first like our first EP's cover. Like that
Wow.
was a while ago,
Wow.
like, and Alan's the one that did it. And like, yeah, he's been around for a long time, and he's a cool kid. Like I said, he deserves all the hype he has.
He's
Honestly,
an
like,
author as well now.
100%. Oh yeah, I know. I saw that. Like, I was actually surprised by that. And but I mean, they built lore around it, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy to me. Like, like me, my attention span is way too short for that. That's why I prefer EPs over albums.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, yeah. But no, no, distant stuff is like ridiculous. Like,
ADHD gang, where you
oh
at?
god, I know the feeling. Like the modern day millennial. Exactly.
And Chris.
Exactly. Okay. Actually, here's a question. Considering the success of 400, would there ever be an idea to potentially push it to the next limit and try and break the record a second time?
Well, actually, Fred is trying to break the record right now with his other project.
Really?
Yeah, like he's trying to do that on his like on the side. And for us, honestly, that was more a gimmick, and
Yeah.
like we did that for fun to bring the people together. We
Yeah.
weren't actually into breaking the record. Like it was all for fun and giggles, and actually work with people that we always wanted to work with. I mean, having Jamie Hanks of I Declare War on the track, like for
Oh
me, that
yeah.
was like a dream.
Oh yeah. I
And
saw that.
I
That was
can't
pretty
believe
amazing.
that most of them did that for free. Like they did it for free just to have fun. And like to me, that's incredible that we built something like that, right? So that's mostly why we did it. Now we like me and the boys we're not as much into like memes
Okay.
and gimmicks and stuff like that. So I think our next material is going to be like from now on, it's probably going to be very serious and very
Okay.
different.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's what's up now, I guess.
Nice. Nice. And like sound wise, are you changing it up much? Or are you gonna be like continuing on with the same sort of stuff?
Oh, this one, man, it's tricky to answer. Like, it's like, um, the thing is, like, I was caught, I was caught in a way because we had an EP ready to
Yeah.
release, but then with Fred leaving, half of those songs were Fred's. So now, you left with his songs, which is fine.
Yeah.
But, and then the others were like, why don't you just write another two songs to replace them? And I was like, well, I kind of grew out of those songs already, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So that's when I started writing a brand new EP. And like, so this new thing is like, it's like slow, but not that slow. And there's like fast parts, there's blast beats, there's gravity blasts,
Yeah.
but there's like weird riffs, there's slam riffs, there's breakdowns, there's two steps, there's like
Like a huge
it's
amount of variety
a
going
whole
in.
package. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a whole package. And like Guillaume is gonna try to like turn the crazy knob to 11.
He's gonna
Like
stream even
he wants
higher.
to add singing in there and stuff. Oh no, he wants to add singing, like
Really?
crazy, like goblin singing, like cattle decapitation style. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that's exactly
Like,
what I
it's
was
gonna
gonna
be
say.
very interesting.
That could be cool. Like I could see Guillaume like maybe potentially being like that modern day Travis Ryan sort of.
He idolizes Travis, so it would make sense. Like, and I think that's something where, for us, like, I'm very proud that we're not afraid to like admit that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
love certain artists, if that makes sense. And like, it will appear in our sound, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Guillaume loves Travis, man. Like we both saw Travis live a couple times, and like, they're crazy. They're just crazy. Like it's so good. I love it.
Is
And it's
he?
like now that we have like different musicians too, we can do things a little different. We can actually go a little faster. We can do stuff a little more complicated.
Yeah.
So this release here is like I would say a transition towards something a little faster,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, but like you're not gonna be like going full like Archspire tech death yet.
After releasing like down tempo for 10 years, like no, so it's like we're gonna transition slowly to something we'd like to play a little more.
Yeah, of course, of course. Okay, cool. Question: what gear do you run like for like your guitar, like when it comes to recording and all that?
This one's pretty funny
Yeah.
because you know how guitar players are very like they're all gearheads, right?
Yeah, I'm one of them as well.
Like yeah, exactly. And it's like, and then there's me. Like I remember I used to play shows like locally, and people would be like, "Bro, what do you run your guitar in?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"My amp."
No.
Got nothing else. I got the baby that we used to record every single Beyond Deviation track you've ever heard.
Nice.
It's my LTD H208, which is a very simple guitar. Just change
Yeah.
the pickups for DiMarzio deactivators.
Nice.
Sounds amazing. And I run it in an angle fireball. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes I'll put like a a tube screamer in front of it, or when I jam I like to have a loop station.
Oh, yeah,
Other
of
than
course.
that, really, in terms of gear, that's pretty much it for me. And then Sam, though, he has a whole pedal board, and he uses
yeah.
a Kemper, and Sam is more of a gearhead than I am for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, because like for me at least, all my guitar tones like it's all plugins I pretty much use just because of space.
Yeah, oh yeah. I know a lot of people that do that too, where it's like, honestly, like the thing is, because I spend already so much time sitting in front of my computer. I like to get away when I play, or if I play on the computer, usually I just play with my little guitar lele. So it's
Nice. Nice. I wonder, is that going to feature in the new EP?
yeah, like oh, and by the way, well, I mean, fun fact, you heard Identity Crisis, right?
Yeah.
Like the ending, that's what it's played on. Like the
You're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, because in
And then
my
it's
head, I was trying to figure out what was that thing that they were playing. I thought it was just like it was just your guitar. You just I don't know. It was like a DI single, and you're playing on the high notes or something like that.
oh no, no, we recorded the guitar lay through a phone to give it that like static sound
Oh, nice.
and like it, yeah, and
That
I
black
don't know.
metal
I
style
was playing
recording.
at home. Yeah, because it wasn't in the EP originally. I was just playing at home, and I was playing. God, I was playing this. I don't know if you know any Iron Maiden at all. Like, do you
Yeah, I do.
know the
Yeah.
song "Wasting Love"? It's like
Yeah. I think I do.
you know that song. And so I
Yeah.
just went like by mistake, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty." I'm like, "That's beautiful," you know. And then I showed the boys, and I was like, you know, imagine if we could put like something that sounds like a Japanese code over it, right? They're like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? I'm like, you know, and then they were
Yeah.
like, oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
It's
It
like
adds to the
record that.
evilness. It's so evil.
Oh yeah, I mean it's suiting, right? So it's like it goes super heavy at the end of Identity Crisis, and then it just drops, right? And I think that's pretty as all. Like it feels nice, and yeah, and I love melody, so
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Oh yeah. So, question: what's the metal scene like in Canada, at least in Quebec? Because I know there's tech death, but is anything else?
honestly, the scene. Well, it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
In Canada in general, I would say Ontario, it's pretty decent. Every time we played in Ontario, we made a bunch of friends, a bunch of fans, and it's super fun. You know, west side of Canada, it's
Mm-hmm.
really hard to do anything if you're not angelmaker. Yeah, and I mean, angelmaker is amazing, by the way. I
Oh
love you,
yeah.
Matt. But like, yeah, I'm always Matt's fangirl, by the way. So
Aw.
yeah, because he played guitar for Threat Signal, and I love Threat Signal. So,
Dope.
but yeah, and but like you know, out west it's a little harder for sure. And also the problem with Canada is that bands tend to not tour it that much because like main cities are very far apart.
Yeah.
You know, like so it's like to drive from like let's say from here to a main city in Alberta,
Yeah.
it's like almost 20 hours.
Jesus. Yeah, you'd have to fly everywhere at
Yeah,
that
so it's
point.
like yeah, exactly. So it's super expensive and it's not really worth it. So that's why it's a weird country to tour in.
Yeah.
So that's why usually people stick to Quebec and Ontario because like we're right beside the border, right? We're I mean New York is like 2 hours from here.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
It's really really close. And but yeah, in Quebec though, it's a very Quebec centered scene. Okay, like I don't want this to make like sound weird at all, but like
Okay.
Quebec is very centered on itself. And by the way, that's something I like a lot about Quebec too. So I
Yeah.
can't I'm not talking bad here because like what I like about Quebec is the fact that they're very proud of what they do, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you know, for us, a lot of people in Quebec don't even know that we exist. And that's the thing. And now they're starting to actually acknowledge that we're in the scene. And like, it's funny because we've always been from Quebec.
So is it sort of like they're very gung ho about like the traditional, I guess, metal bands, or are they very slow to like take
Yes,
in new projects?
yes, and also it's the old way to do things, right? Where it's like you know, you have to play a lot of shows, you have to play, you know, and you know, Beyond Deviation's never been about playing that often. It's
Yeah.
always like us, we've always been about exclusivity, right? It's like if we play Ottawa, it's the only time we're gonna play this year. You see what I
Right.
mean? So it's like
Yeah.
if you want to see us, it's now. It's not in a month. You know, it's now. So it's like that's how we do things. So because we don't play that much in Quebec, like we're not very known here. But recently we signed with a new label in Montreal, so in Quebec,
Yeah.
and now we're starting to get recognition in Quebec, and I love that. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
happy to finally get some recognition in my own place. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of course. Because like when I anytime I've
even though it's
ever
a smaller scene, it feels great.
yeah, of course. Because like anytime I've thought about Quebec, at least in the metal, it always comes back to like Beyond Creation mainly. Like that's the big one that everyone like talks about. So it's really cool to like see like all these other like newer bands that are more up and coming. Because when I was messaging, I think Hell for Breakfast, the label you guys are on, about the interview, they actually showed me some. They sent me some like really cool bands to look at. Like one of them was called Bastards, I think it was.
Yeah, they're more like kind of like metalcore, a little heavy on the heavier side. Yeah, they're pretty good. I love what they're doing for sure. And that's the thing where it's like in Quebec, usually what you hear about is like Beyond Creation, the Spiced Icon, and like Blind Witness probably.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you know, Quebec is known to be like pioneers of many genres in metal. Like even avant-garde metal and like deathcore, one of the first deathcore bands ever. You know, the Spice Icons from here. So
for sure.
So of course there's a big scene, but there's not many people who listen to it here.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of people that play it, but not many people listen to it. So that's why it's a little tricky of a scene to work with, I guess.
Right.
It's interesting though. I love it.
Just sticking on that, it's like I don't know. I could be completely wrong about this, but I found it could be the Frenchness to it. But I found that French bands tend to do some of the craziest stuff when it comes to like metal, and like I think Quebec, in a way, being the sort of French side of it as well. I don't know. It's a bit like every sort of band that's like Canadian French or even French in general. They always do something like ridiculously insane when it comes to writing. Like I know Igor by chance.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know why. I think it's like, well, you know, they call French the language of love, right? So I guess there is a creativity that comes with it. I don't know. But something is for sure is that French tend to bring a lot of culture from what I've seen in my life, where it's like if you go to Quebec, it's very cultural. If you go to even Louisiana in the States, you know, it's French and it's very cultural. Like, I don't know. That's like a theory I have, but like, I guess that's why, where it's like because they're very cultural place, they tend to be very proud of what they do. Yeah. So they tend to push the limits a little more, maybe. I don't know. Like, it's interesting. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah,
because it's true. If you look at bands like Gojira, right?
Yeah, they did something different, completely different.
It's crazy. Oh yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. Like, and they're finally picking up a lot of steam too, and they deserve it, like 100%. Like they're insane.
Oh yeah,
like it's crazy.
I assume you listened to the new album.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't get that question.
I thought there was a delay.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the delay. Oh, by the way, for people who are watching, it's really hard sometimes because there's like a 3 to 4 second delay.
Oh, okay, that's why.
But yeah, I listened to it. I mean, you know, for me, Gojira, it was always about the riffs, right?
Of course,
the riffs are just that so heavy, you know, and they remind me of like a heavier kind of Lamb of God, if that makes sense. And I love that. I love Lamb of God as well.
Oh yeah, because it has like
I love the riffs that they play. Oh yeah, it's the groove, eh? Like
it's that groove.
I don't know. I like when you can bounce to a song, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. What's your favorite Lamb?
Especially in metal, because it's not that common.
Yeah, of course. What's
my favorite? What?
What's your favorite Gojira album?
Oh, sorry, it cut. I didn't get that.
What's your favorite Gojira album?
Oh my god, I couldn't even recall. Like, I don't listen to them all that much compared to a lot of my friends. Like, I like them, but it's not like I would have to see the cover probably.
Right.
Let me look.
No worries.
Let's see which one it would be. Like I said, it's just I barely. Well, usually when I listen to music these days, it's on Spotify, eh?
Yeah. Of
so
course.
because of that, I barely recognize the names of the album. It's crazy how the scene has changed for that, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I know an album like that I really liked was like The Flesh Alive was insane.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's an album that I remember like being very interesting when I actually listened to it. The Way of All Flesh, yeah, I mean, there's so many, right? That's the thing with that band is like they have so many albums and they're all good.
Yeah. They're one of the few bands that are consistently like putting out quality material.
Oh yeah, like the only band that I would say like keeps coming out with good material. It's not in the same genre, but I would say Breaking Benjamin. I know it's weird because it's not like heavy, but I mean, how can you release so many albums and have all of them be bangers? Like it's insane. They're all good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like,
I definitely remember like a period when I was a teenager. Definitely when I think everybody like watched the 300 like Breaking Benjamin music thing, where it's like you had all those like compilation videos with Breaking Benjamin underneath back in the
oh
day.
yeah,
I remember watching
yeah,
that a
that's
lot.
true, eh? I forgot that was a thing. Oh man, the good old
The
days.
good old days of the internet 1.0 or like YouTube 1.0.
Oh yeah, man. Back then, I still had, dial-up internet. I couldn't even watch YouTube at home. Like when I watched YouTube, it was at school because I lived in the country and the school was in the city. So in
Yeah.
the city, they had good. Well, I mean, good internet. What was it, like 5 megabits or something back,
Oh,
like something
beautiful
like that
five
back then?
megabits.
Like, oh yeah, the good old days,
It
man.
was
Like
when the
you see
internet was a
that's
lot
what I
better.
mean. We're with, but you see that's what I mean with we're getting old.
Oh yeah, like I knew I was getting older when like I started saying like, oh, but back when I was, I don't want to, back when I was your age, or like back in my day, we didn't get internet all the time,
Oh yeah.
because like
Oh
all this sort
yeah.
of like,
Even when I talk about music, right?
yeah,
When I talk about music, I realize that I say some things like that too, where it's like I'm like, yeah, but when back when we started, it was the Facebook era. Everybody was on Facebook and
yeah.
the Facebook era, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like the Facebook era is gonna be the new MySpace kind of
Oh
thing.
god, definitely.
Soon they're gonna be calling it like, oh, Facebook deathcore.
Facebook. Oh god. Oh no. And then everyone's gonna move on to TikTok for their new music.
Oh, dude, TikTok's a dope platform. Okay, it
Really.
really is for music.
Like if
Like
I'm being
I
honest,
released you've never
I've
used
I've
TikTok?
never used TikTok. I think it's because I there was always this preconception that it was like a bad thing. Because I remember like when it first came out and everyone was
Um
trashing it. But saying that, I do
yeah. The
appreciate
thing
like,
is like one thing to notice is that people tend to trash on everything that's new,
oh yeah, of
right?
course,
And TikTok is very good for people who have very short attention spans, like me, because like it's very quick videos, right?
yeah,
And but like for example, I put a video on TikTok of Beyond Deviation. It's just us messing around like in the garage,
yeah,
and with Guillaume doing weird banshee screams in the back, of course.
yeah.
And well, basically, it's me annoying Guillaume, and he's always like, "Fuck off, Chris." and like that video got something like 60K likes.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's way better than any other platform that we've been using. So it's like I think it's a platform that's worth like experimenting with for deathcore bands because
Yeah,
there are some people. I mean, I found a couple vocalists for 400 on TikTok.
fair, fair. Like
So it's like I think there is a scene there, and I think it's cool that it's videos, so we interact between each other like a little
that's true.
better.
Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
it, it's different.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to dip my toe into it because I admittedly like I did have a version to it initially, but I have seeing videos now when it's actually sort of it's past the peak and it's sort of like becoming good again, and like people are becoming more just used to the idea of TikTok, and it's like I definitely want to dip my toe into it as well and like see what it's like, if anything, just to see those videos.
Yeah, and it's a like I said, it's like people tend to oppose anything that's new and cool.
Yeah.
So it's like I've learned with time to like not really listen to what people say at all. Like now I just try it, and like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Oh yeah, of
That's how I
course.
see it. Because like I said, like people tend to oppose anything. I mean, anime. A lot of
Yeah,
people will shit on like Demon Slayer because they're like, oh, it's a the animations are whack. It's like no, they're beautiful, but they're
it's art.
different to what you're used to, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's art. But like people tend to like basically put down anything that they don't know. So
Oh yeah, of
people are
course.
afraid of the unknown, I would say. And there's always this misconception. It's like, oh, like oh, little girls dancing, that's what you like. It's like, what do you mean? TikTok is all algorithms, right?
Yeah,
So it's like if you look at my TikTok, it's all politics,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
music, tattoos, all stuff that
Yeah,
I like. You see what I mean? So it's like Pokemon. I get some
yeah, of
Pokemon
course.
people
Yeah,
opening like booster packs.
Mm,
So it's like, so it's not like, I guess there is a misconception with it, but like it's not what people think. Of course, if you're the kind of guy that likes like girls like dancing, right? That's what you're
yeah.
gonna get. But if you like other stuff, I mean, you'll get other stuff. So
Hey,
that's what I
I'll
get, you
definitely take a look into
know.
it. Definitely. Oh yeah, just quickly, like we were just talking about like about being old and stuff, and I remember one thing that I'll never forget is the idea of buying a CD for one track, like for one song on that CD, like really back in the day.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I was always the type of guy actually to buy CDs without even knowing the artist.
Oh really?
Like yeah, that's how I bought my first CD. I bought a Corn CD, and I bought
Nice.
the Follow the Leader album just because I like the artwork.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
Because it reminded me of like Tim Burton style of drawing and stuff. And I bought it when I think I was like, God, I must have been 7 years old. And I was at like Walmart with my mom. And I'm like, Mom, can you buy this? And she's like, well, it says it's not for kids. And I'm like, yeah, but it looks cool. And she's like, all right. And she
Yeah,
bought
there you
it.
go.
And then I started listening to it. I mean, fast forward, I'm almost 30 years old and I still listen to that album. So it's
That's a
like,
great album.
it's
Absolute great
crazy
album.
what you can do like when you're a kid, like how it can influence you as you grow up. And corn is the reason why I started playing extended range guitars too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. God, I remember when I first saw Korn and like the first couple of music videos from them, and I was very confused by the guitar because I'd only at that point had only known 6 string guitars, so I saw the 7 and I was like, what? That must be like
Mhm.
that must be like some custom thing like that only like the most famous of guitarists get to have.
Yeah, you don't think about it. Like you don't know. That's the thing. And like me, corn, it was always like how creative head was with the leads,
Yeah,
right? They're always so weird. And like even if you look at projects, like even modern projects
yeah,
with like that try to like to mimic that, they still don't get it. Like they still don't get that feeling that old corn used to have, like on their self-titled and stuff. Like
yeah.
it's weird, it's gritty, it's like it's not even heavy. It's just creepy, and I love that so much.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think I remember watching. Do you know Banger TV by chance? The YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
watching a thing they did. I think it was Lockhorns for new metal, and like them talking about new metal and how like
Mhm.
it's derived from a very sort of from a rougher, tougher like background. Like the music, it's not about I think they describe it as like it's not about Dungeons and Dragons. It's about real world stuff. And I think that definitely like plays into the music and the way they
Mhm.
write.
Well, even if you look at deathcore,
Yeah.
like in the beginning, deathcore was like just and I don't mean like to sound bad or anything, okay, but it was like a dollar store death metal, right? And they
Yeah.
had like the same topics and stuff like that. I remember when deathcore became a thing, I was like, why would I listen to this if I can listen to like God Dethroned or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
That and God Dethroned was way more serious, right? And then but then it kind of switched, right? And I think that's one of the things that like Suicide Silence had to go for them.
Oh yeah.
That a lot of people don't give them credit for, where it's like a lot of like what you would say, like Wake Up, which is about like some friend that died in a car accident or something like that. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, it's real stuff. And that's something that stuck with me when I listened to Dead Nerves by Traders.
Yeah.
Like it's a very depressive song, like extremely depressive, and I was like, wow, like I never heard depression being translated like into heavy music. And that
Yeah.
was very interesting to me and I liked it a lot.
For
But yeah,
sure.
even with deathcore, you can see like, the first era of deathcore, even though I liked it. So I'm not talking bad, guys. I liked it. Probably my favorite deathcore album of all time is the Somatic Defilement. And the
Oh
Somatic
yeah.
Defilement is
Yeah.
disgusting, right? It's like that metal. And like but something that really stuck with me was later on when they became more serious. They started talking about real life topics instead of talking about like imaginary things,
Oh yeah, of
right?
course, of
And
course.
like like I don't know, and that's kind of what I don't like about bands like Cannibal Corpse, for example. It's very fake. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
get what you
the
mean. Yeah,
topics.
yeah, of course, I get what you mean. Because I, I think I was talking to I think it was Alan I was talking to, and he was saying is like with Cannibal Corpse is like as I guess fake and their writing is, it's like it's got that sort of consistency that people find warmth in a weird way, that like no matter what, that Cannibal Corpse album is gonna sound exactly
Hmm.
the same every time, no matter what they put out.
Yeah, it's gonna be some Cannibal Corpse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why I said like in topics, right? It's just the
Yeah,
topics. Me personally, it's not my jam. But like, musically, you gotta give them the credit. I mean, they've been doing this for a long ass time, and they've been
30
very
plus
consistent
years
too.
or 40
Like it's
even, I don't
crazy.
know.
It's insane.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't even know, and like I'm not sure I want to know. Like it's already impressive just to know that like I was a kid and they were doing this. Like to me
Yeah.
that's enough. Like
I
that's
didn't
crazy. Like
I didn't exist and they were doing this.
yeah, it's insane. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like they've been doing this for so long. Like I can't even imagine being a band for that long.
Oh God. It goes back
I'd
to
go
like
crazy.
it goes back to like having that sort of very good rapport with each other as a band.
Oh no, absolutely. And once again, that's something I feel like a lot of fans, a lot of people who watch, who listen to bands and stuff, like they don't necessarily see. Well, that's the thing where it's like you don't see what's going on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
right? And like at the end of the day, for me, member changes just means they save the band. Because a lot of times, if they weren't to like change members, they would just like, like fall apart
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, of course.
So it's like that's how I said. That's why I'm okay with them usually.
Yeah, of course, of course. I think it can be quite a wake up call for like bands. You get a new member in, it changes things up, but most of the times it is for the better, because if you stay doing the same thing, you eventually do end up falling to the wayside of all the other great stuff that's happening.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you know, yeah, I think it's us as fans, because I include myself. I mean, I'm a fan of many bands, right? I think like it's our job to try to accept change, if that makes sense,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure, for
Uh,
sure.
I know it can be hard. I mean, I remember the first time I heard God, what's this? Oh wow, the last 10 seconds of life, the album after.
Uh,
Oh my God, I got In Vivo Ex Vivo in my head, but like after Soulless Hymns, yeah. So it's like
yeah,
the song, like the album with Lil Black Line. Oh, The Violent Sound.
right,
Oh
right,
my God,
yeah.
it's like my favorite album, and I forgot it. Sorry, Wyatt.
I forgot.
But like, yeah, it's like it's my favorite album from them. But like the first time I listened to it, I wasn't too convinced.
Yeah.
Right, new singer,
Mm.
new style. Where it's like now they have like singing, like actual singing their songs, and I was like, I don't know, man. And then I re-listened, and I kept listening. I was like, that's their best material by far. Like this is insane.
It's
And
mature.
like to this day, it's still one of my favorite deathcore albums of all time. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy. And I think like a lot of people didn't give it like the credit that it deserved, right?
Oh yeah, I think a band I can find a bit of a similar ground in that respects is Bring Me the Horizon. Regardless of how you
Yeah.
feel about them, I think as a band they did something that I don't think many bands could do and do it well. Do a complete genre shift.
Yeah, like step into other genres.
Yeah, and still have that loyalty to them. That's
Yeah,
hard
well,
to do.
what's funny though, like I'm not like people don't necessarily like that opinion a lot, but like I prefer the newer Bring Me the Horizon to the old one. And I feel like in the deathcore scene that's kind of a like I guess not very popular opinion, I
I
guess.
I I know
Like
what you mean. Me personally, I think their newer stuff is some of the most creative writing I think they've ever done in their discography. I definitely feel like there were some growing pains
yeah, and like me
with
yeah.
going from like I think it was Sempiternal, and then you had That's the Spirit. I think there was some growing pains there. But then they came out with Ammo, which I thought was a great album, even though it wasn't technically a metal album. I still thought it was amazing. And then their new EP, I forget the name of it, but their latest thing they put out, it's some of the most creative like metal writing out there at the moment.
Oh yeah, like me, like That's the Spirit. Like oh god, what's this song? I'm having issues, man. I just woke up. Like the main song is like
The Throne. Oh, Drown.
yeah, no, like the Drown. Yeah. When I heard that song, that's when I realized they changed, right? And for me that was such a positive change. Like I listen to that album all the time, and I'm still like impressed by how good it is. And then a lot of people were like, oh, they're not heavy anymore, and it's like I've always thought like their heaviness was kind of fake. You know, like what I mean by that is that I don't think they were people who were actually like into heavy music all that much. Maybe when they were kids, and now they're actually letting out what they actually like listening to, and it feels more real to me. It feels more authentic, and that's why a lot of people don't like my opinion, because I believe their new stuff is more real. Therefore, it's better. Because
I kind of get what you mean. Yeah,
I like stuff being real.
Yeah,
you know, like, and I feel like he feels what he's singing about, and like, you know, like once again, it goes back to like the what we were talking about earlier, where it's like it's not fantasy now.
Yeah.
You know, he's talking about real stuff that he feels, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, when you listen to the song "Drown," it's so well written, so well written. Even like you know, like there's this part I always come back to when it comes to like how well written it is.
Yeah.
You know, when he goes like it drops for a second and he's like, "'Cause you know that I can't do this on my," and then it goes, "Ah."
Oh yeah.
And it goes back to that.
Yeah.
That, you know, like you have to think about that. You know, like that's well written.
Exactly. You got to plan to do that.
And it hits you like right in the feels. Oh yeah. You had to plan it for sure. Because I mean, it's so smart. Like, and I think that's another thing I like about music. I love intelligent music. You know? But I also love my caveman slam.
I know what you mean. I'm just like, we're gonna end a conversation about Tool.
Oh God, man, Tool is one of those bands, eh?
It's just one of those bands.
Yeah, like the man. I remember before I stopped, I quit drinking and all, and more than drinking, right? We're gonna be honest here. Man, I remember listening like to Sober in the middle of the night, just crying, man. Like,
damn,
Tool is so good, yeah. Like, it hits you, man. Like that song Sober, man. Like when he goes like Mother Mary, oh my God, like it's insane. Like right in the feels, man. Right in the feels.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Like,
Tool as a band is such an enigma of a band.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, it's a puzzle, and I don't think it'll ever be solved. Really,
no.
They're just doing whatever.
No,
and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh well, yeah. Because we were talking about Tool, and it's like I was gonna say, because like Tool is a band that took me a long to get into.
Yeah,
like a long time. I mean, and to me, it's kind of similar to Meshuggah, where it's like I could never get into Meshuggah, even though I thought they were very insane. Like they were like crazy in terms of like instrumentals and stuff. They were insane. But like recently, I don't know if you know that song. I think it's newer, but like my friend, like is the drummer of my other project. He showed me the song from them called "I Am Colossus." Have you heard that song?
Is this Meshuggah, right?
Yeah.
I probably have heard it. I don't know. I forgot which album it was on.
Oh man, like the instrumental is probably the heaviest thing I've ever heard. Like it's so heavy. Like every time, like every hit, man, it's just like in your chest, and it's so off.
Oh yeah,
it's
they
beautiful.
Have that thing. They have
and
that
like
thing about it.
Oh yeah, like I don't know what the tuning is, but it must be like, I don't know, like double drop D or something like that.
Oh god, yeah, it could be.
It's so low.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like right now, I'm in drop E, and I sound like high pitched compared to that. Like,
god damn it. Do you listen to Humanity's Last Breath by chance?
Oh yeah, man. Actually, sad fact. Like I can't remember which album from them, but like Guillaume was supposed to feature on one of their albums
Oh,
back in
really?
the days. And then that's when like Guillaume had like trouble, like
Oh, yeah,
splitting his
yeah,
personal life and like
yeah.
work life. So like it sucked because I would have loved to hear a Humanity's Last Breath song with Guillaume.
Oh
Like
God, that would have fucking hell.
would have
Yeah,
been insane.
that would have been. That would have
Yeah,
been.
it's just like it's crazy, like
Mm. No, that band is
insane stuff.
yeah, that band is insane. It's insane how it's mainly just a one man project as well,
Yeah.
or like 1 to 2 man or something
Well,
like
at the same time, that's one thing where it's like when it's only one person, it tends to be a little better just because there's no obstacles, right?
Yeah, there's no
You're just
obstacles.
doing whatever you want.
Yeah, and you can
And
experiment
like
as much as you want. As
even
well.
with Beyond Deviation, we kind of tried to keep it like a one person effort. It's weird to say, but like what I do usually is that I record guitars
Yeah.
on my own. I
Yeah.
don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to have a say in what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I'm recording guitars, and then I just send that with basic drums to the drummer. Then
Yeah.
he writes his drums.
Okay.
And then we send that to like let's say the other guitar player. Then he adds whatever he wants to that.
Yeah.
Then we send it to Guillaume. We're like, have fun.
Mm.
So it's like by doing this is like I get to be the one that wrote the song, but then
Yeah.
they get to write the song the way they want. You see what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
like we all get creative freedom, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
of
really
course.
weird,
No, that's cool.
but that's how I like to do it.
No, that's cool. It's like I know talking to bands back in the day when there was live music, it's always interesting to see who's like the main writer in all these bands. Like I know there's this band I talked to, and their main writer, and there was this proggy sort of like noise band, and the main writer was the drummer, which I always thought was kind of funny because I was like, but it kind of makes sense as well because the drums are the foundation technically of your project, so it makes sense they could write it. And then some other bands where it's like
Yeah.
I know band Tesseract, everything is written by their guitarist and producer, and then he just doses that to everyone else.
Yeah. Well, it's like my other project we're only 3 people.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, where it's like we never want to be more. We do plan on playing shows, but we're gonna get what we call goons. We're gonna get guys, wearing like ski masks to play with us.
Yeah, of course.
But our plan is just to keep it to us 3 because we all write songs and we're all on the same page. So we don't want to add someone in there and just mess up our,
The flow.
like our like chemistry that we have.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and with Beyond Deviation, I mean, honestly, the writing with Beyond Deviation is really easy. Like these guys are really easy to work with. They're really fun to work with as well. Like the guys that we have right now. Like, if you want me to be honest, I think we're sitting on the best lineup we've been sitting on, like we've ever
Okay.
sit on.
Yeah.
Like these guys, they're amazing. They're all great musicians. Even Sam, the new guitar player, a lot of people were like, oh, like, why do you kick another member out? It's like, well, first of all, we didn't kick Rock out. He's a dad now. He doesn't have time to play
Well,
music.
yeah, of course.
But, and Sam, we've already toured with him. So it's like, he's someone that we worked with before.
Yeah.
So for us, it was a very easy, like, transition, right? You just joined the band. Now he's in. And, but like, they're all fun to work with. They're all good friends of mine in real life too. So that
Yeah.
helps.
Of course. Yeah, that helps. Nah, but that's sick.
Yeah.
That's
So
sick.
I think we're sitting on the best lineup, so people can expect some really good stuff coming for sure.
Nice. So anyway, I just want to say huge thank you for taking the time to have a chat. Really enjoyed it. And just before we go, do you want to shout out anything?
Man, honestly, shout out to everyone that was on the 400 track. Shout out for my boy Chris Gilbert for making that whistle on the 400 track. Shout out to all the bands that we worked with throughout the years. All the, like the designers. I mean, recently I've been working a lot with a guy on Facebook. He's called Kill.
Yeah.
And like, shout out to you, man. Like, insane work, quick turnaround. Love him. And shout out to you as well. I mean, I've been watching your channel as well, so that's pretty
Cheers.
fun.
Thank you.
You're one of my favorite reaction channel these days because I like how genuine you are.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's like you don't just react, you actually like put in your opinion, which I like a lot. And
Thanks. Thank you.
And like shout out honestly anyone, like everyone that's been involved in some way in the 400 project and everything else that we've been doing. And shout out to my local homies as well.
Of course.
But yeah, I think that would be it for my shout outs.
Cheers, cheers. But anyway, yeah, so thanks again. And yeah, I'm just gonna